So this is really a very compelling story for me because I've actually been following it since late 2020 when the Texas regulator came down on this alleged fraud that was purporting to be an investment pool that took people's Bitcoin in, did some Forex trading strategies that were very unclear, apparently maybe with trading bots and algorithms, and yielded 10% returns. And it also had incentives to get more people in, a multi-level marketing scheme. You refer your friends and family, you get a little bit more bonus. Well, back in 2020, it seemed pretty clear that there was something amiss with this Mere Trading International. And now we're hearing more officially that this $1.7 billion project, this pool, is allegedly a fraud. And today, the CFTC unsealed charges against Mere Trading and its self-described CEO, a man I believe by the name of Steinberg, who allegedly defrauded 23,000 Americans and even more people around the world by telling them that he would have this wonderful yield for them, but he wasn't registered or licensed to do these sorts of trading strategies, nor was he actually doing them. The CFTC says that this guy said all these nice and lovely things, but behind the scenes, he was handing out, fake account statements and not making full disclosures and not acting in a way that was in the interest of his clients.
Do we know anything further about who this Cornelius Johannes Steinberg is, and what exactly was he doing with the Bitcoin? People were sending Bitcoin to this platform, I presume, and what would happen from there?
Well, so it's not completely clear to me at this point what he was doing with the money, if like he was buying Lamborghinis or misappropriating them to on yachts and houses, as we've seen in other cases that have been brought by federal officials. But it does appear that he was not doing what he was telling his clients that he was doing, which is to say, turning the Bitcoin into more Bitcoin through advanced algorithmic trading strategies. The Feds say that there were no trading strategies, there were no trades, there were no bots. It was just bring money in.
So it sounds like a Ponzi scheme. But what was Mirror MTI reputable? Why were so many people falling for this?
Well, I mean, I would say that they weren't so reputable, hindsight being 2020, of course. But as with any scheme, the allure of really stable, consistent returns, 10% a month, that has broad appeal. So that's one factor. You also have the multi-level marketing factor, the bonus that people can get by referring friends and family, that incentivizes a network to grow regardless of what the people in charge are doing. So it had all the different makings of a project that could grow exponentially and grow quickly. And that's what happens. And that's what we've seen. The Bitcoin that it took in is now worth $1.7 billion.
Yeah, I guess that's the saddest part. Regulators often talk about protecting consumers, and this is a classic example where consumers were not protected, and inviting family and friends on top of that is just incredibly sad. I see that the scheme ran from May of 2018 until early 2021, and that's when MTI entered into these bankruptcy proceedings and liquidations in South Africa. Now, the Steinberg is an international fugitive. Why are the charges coming just now?
Well, it's difficult to say why charges are coming at this exact moment. I was trying to figure out earlier today if he was just recently arrested. I know that he was arrested on an Interpol warrant in Brazil. The charging documents say that this was a recent development. So if I had to venture a guess, they probably have unsealed this case now because they finally have him in custody. And unsealing them before he was in custody is probably it's a very smart idea, because if you are a criminal and you know that there's a price on your head from the government of the US, you're not about to say, hello, I'm over here. So that would be my guess.
So Danny, what happens from here?
Well, the big question that I have, and the same question I have for all these fraud cases, is how much money will federal officials be able to claw back and to return to victims? Because that's part of the goal that they have here. It's not just punishment, it's restitution. So I'm very curious to know what has happened to all the Bitcoin that this guy allegedly took in. If it still is there in any form, I can't imagine that he spent all of it, but who knows? So I'm eager to learn what happens to the money and if the victims are able to get anything back.